Today's episode it's a stall. I'm stalling. This is me giving myself time to decide before I post it, but I'm sure on Wednesday we'll have something. Actually, it's an episode that me and the boys recorded. And
Now tuned into the greatest.
hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sage Be Me podcast. I'll be your host for today. Today, have you ever felt like you should post something, then you're like, nah, I shouldn't post it. Then you're like, it's supposed to go out. Today's episode it's a stall. I'm stalling. This is me giving myself time to decide before I post it, but I'm sure on Wednesday we'll have something. Actually, it's an episode that me and the boys recorded, and I'll tell you, boys out there want mapenzi. Girls out there, mapenzi is love for the people listening to this thing from who are not Kenyan. Guys out there want love. Women out there are just looking for a quick shot outside. I don't know. Anyways, you'll get to hear for yourself in that podcast. But I'm still looking for more guys, more conversations. And I had this wild idea like there should be a section on myths and misconceptions or something of the sort, where we just go all out, speak our ideologic ideas and something of the sort. It's just going to be my friends having fun and people who I don't know who are becoming friends enjoying. So today's episode is supposed to be story time with Uncle Sage. Story time with Uncle Sage. What story would you like to hear? Oh, have you ever set your mind to do something? Then once you've completed it, you're all lazy and stuff. Like you don't know what to do next. Like, let me tell you. So I think it's 2019, early in the year. Yeah. So I set out my mind that I'll be making myself a desk because a friend of mine, brother from another mother, he usually had this desk and it was looking fine. So I decided I'm going to that in that direction. We'll fix up the my desk together. So I hit him up. We checked some measurements. I think I still have that paper for the measurements for this desk that I have right now. Then after the measurements, we went to Gikomba G Mall, I usually call it, to get the material. So we go buy the wood. Actually, it's fine wood, and we chopped them. So when we were making it, people who have my snap, as in they snap me, they know that I actually posted the video while we were making the before and the after, and how it actually looks. I might decide to take everything off the table, then post it for you on Instagram. So, we were making the table, we were hitting it with hammers, we were struggling to find how we'll put the stand. It was just an amazing process, as in it was stressful, especially when we were hitting the nails and they were not entering the wood. We were like, what are we going to do? We can't chop this wood some more. It was just hectic. It was stressful. It was an amazing journey. It was marvelous. Then after we completed it, my boy Ndivo asked me, bro, ufilaje after umefanya kitu yenye ulikuanga unataka, ulikuwa umeweka as in, how do you feel after completing a task that you had planned to do? Then he told me he actually feels nice completing a task that he wanted to do. And at that moment I was feeling like nothing's changed. Life is just the way it used to be. I don't know if you get me. As in, you've gone through all these challenges, then life is back to normal. Then I felt like, in my head, I was like, fine, I've completed this. What next? This is what I came to realize after he asked me this question. So I brought it up like last week he had come. Then I was like, bro, you remember that day when we were making the desk? You asked me, how do you feel? And personally, at that time, I was feeling like, fine, we've completed the desk. Then what is? Then what next? Then he was like, I know you actually feel that, but it's not really about that. It's about the journey. As in, he was like, you remember we got into the job, we went to gym all the process for looking for the wood, negotiating for it, carrying it, then starting the process, as in the brainstorming, you make your mind figure out the solution to the problem. Then we started talking, as in, this was a whole deep conversation, and I swear to God, it was just something amazing. As in, personally, I came to realize that life is not about where you're at, it's about that process of where you're going. It's not about the conclusion, it's about the journey. So, currently, I've been lazing around. Why? Because I set out my mind to do something like, it was really eating my head. People looking at me like, you're not doing anything, we're not seeing results. I think that's why I haven't been sharing the podcast to people on WhatsApp or something of the sort, because how else would you explain the laziness? As in, I was just soaked up deep in this thing, but I think I've completed it. And after completing this thing, it's like right now I'm at that point now. What's next? So I'm giving myself more challenges. That's where I find joy in this life. So as I conclude today's episode, where do you find your joy in this life? Like, what do you enjoy doing to get that? I don't know what's the name of the chemical. Oxytocin, oxymoron. Oxymoron is what I'm just messing with you guys. Anyways, like for real, where do you find your joy? Personally, I find it in my work. Where do you find yours? That's all for today. Actually, my Twitter got like someone tried to enter into the account. It's all my fault. I know what I did. Someone tried to enter into my account, my Twitter, my Google, blah blah blah. So if you're out there downloading cracked files, be wary, be very wary. Yes, if you're out there pirating, be very wary. Anyways, I'm trying to sort out my Twitter, but you can follow me on my Instagram, sage_b_ muchachos. I'm also on Facebook. You can search Sage Be Me there, or Sage. Yeah, Sage Be Me. I should put on a page for the podcast on Facebook. Where else? I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. I hope you liked the episode. The next one will be lit. Like Innocent said when we were recording the episode on love is negotiable. Actually, it was love languages. He said, and I'll be putting that ad lib somewhere.